Like there's people who have criticized me or my wife who have like style pages and all of a sudden they're doing political commentary. And it's like, well, how did you get here? Yeah. Because your other sucked. And so you went and fed the algorithm and chased it.
You guys, Jasleen is at it again. She doesn't stop. She just doesn't stop. And selfishly, I don't really want her to stop because the views on these videos go crazy.
And so you went and fed the algorithm and chased it.
But at the same time, I actually do feel really bad for Akaash because this is she's humiliating. Dude, this is absolutely beyond humiliating at this point. It's like the car crash you just can't look away from. But I'm just going to say, wink, wink, Jasleen, stop.
Stop.
Enough. Like, we've had our fun with this. It's just like, at this point, I mean, what can he do? She's already ruined his career. She's taken everything from him, including his money. He's quit his podcast. So let's just get into this. But before we do, welcome back, everyone. I'm Danielle. If you could do me a favor and you decide that you enjoyed this video, please drop me a like and consider subscribing. So the last time we left off with Akaash and Jasleen, Akaash had just quit his podcast and we don't really know why. They say it's because, he wanted to focus on his stand-up career, which I'm really not buying. I feel like they kind of booted him off because of her. For one, the comments were ruthless. People were absolutely just going in on every single video, like they couldn't escape it, right? And secondly, the last video I posted, we talked about how she was on a podcast and was literally talking trash about the viewers of the Flagrant podcast, which is Akaash's podcast that he has with Andrew Schultz. And so it's just a really bad look all the way around to have him still on the pod and her just yapping her mouth constantly, talking trash about the viewers. It's just a really bad look. So there was absolutely no way he could have stayed on because she ruined it for him. She absolutely has ruined this guy's career, but he won't admit it because obviously this guy's a simp. And I don't like to use these kind of like weird red pill words. I just don't like to buy into like this weird terminology like mogging, simp, beta, you know what I mean? But there's really no other way to put it. Like Akaash is absolutely a simp. And so he quit his podcast and all she really had to do was just shut her mouth because he was now doing his stand-up. He sold out Radio City in New York and she really just, needed to be the happy stay-at-home wife and enjoy all of the fruits of his labor, all of the bags, all of the designer bullshit. She really just had to shut her mouth, but she cannot do that. It is absolutely impossible for her because she is addicted to humiliating her husband, mainly on TikTok. So it was Akaash's birthday and she decided to, post, of course. She couldn't let him have this one day for his birthday. She couldn't let him have it. She had to go on a TikTok on their way to dinner and make a video humiliating the shit out of him. So that's what we're going to talk about today. But just before we get there, I want to show you this clip because he sold out Radio City and somebody commented on the video where she was like bragging about it because of course all of his accomplishments are because of her, right? Everything is due to her since she made like the vision board for him. So somebody commented on her video saying, did you get Akaash a gift for this huge accomplishment? Because he's always showering her with gifts. And her response was to make this video of herself, film herself doing her makeup. And the text on screen says, you're looking at it. Which, if that's the case, then what an awful gift because you literally cannot even be a good wife, like a respectful wife that doesn't know how to not embarrass. She's gutter trash, okay? Like we always say, she is gutter trash. She's not like one of these edgy, quirky girls that are funny. There's a way to tell dirty jokes, even if you are married, even if you're in a relationship, what have you. There's a way to say certain jokes without sounding like absolute trash. You know what I mean? There's a way to say these things without talking about how many dicks you're dreaming of all day and how you want to fuck your best friend's husband and all of this stuff. Because the way she says these things, it's just not funny. It's just absolutely not funny. It's just gross and really trashy, quite frankly. So, that's my main issue with all of this. It's not that like I really care that she wasn't a virgin. I don't give a shit because that's the whole thing. Like her husband was going around on all these podcasts claiming that she was a virgin when it turns out that story is a little bit questionable. I don't give a shit really about any of that. I just hate the fact that, he's trying to act all holier than thou, like high and mighty, that he had this like innocent princess wife. Turns out out she's an absolute whore. And also, secondly, I don't really care that she's a whore. I just care about like the lies and the dishonesty of it all. At least be honest about it. You know what I mean? Oh, but don't worry, guys. She was still showered with thousands of dollars worth of gifts. It was his accomplishment. He did all the work. He's the one who sold out Radio City, yet she was the one who made out like a bandit.
Hi guys, I need to show you my Radio City haul. I just couldn't help myself, so I want to show you guys some of the stuff I got. First up, after Cartier, we went to Bergdorf's, which is always like my little hack, and I really had my eye on this for so long because it's just so chic. I really wanted the Goyard Cosmetics case. I have to show you guys this little cutie bag. I actually wanted to get this in lieu of the cosmetics case, but I saw this after, and we had already bought the cosmetics case, and I didn't want to like do the exchange, so I was like, okay, whatever. My very first claw, or I guess nail bracelet. I feel like this wrist is complete now. Maybe one more. I like that it really pairs well with the Serpenti and then the Masika in the middle for like the pop of like some sparkle. Wait till you guys see the final piece. Okay, so I do have this mini love bracelet. Look at that. The love ring with the pave, and I really like how it kind of complemented, and it just like looks really nice on the middle. It's like, I mean, maybe I didn't need to get this, but I'm really glad I got this. Just like, hey girl, hey, we're gonna go do brunch.
Hey girl, hey, we're gonna go pop our pussies. So anyways, enough talking. Let's listen to the video that she posted on her way to her husband's surprise dinner for his birthday.
Okay, so today is my husband's 42nd birthday. I thought I would tell you guys funny stories about when we were first dating.
Oh God, anytime she says, I thought I'd tell you guys a funny story, strap in. Because every single story she tells is to embarrass her husband. There's no other reason why she tells stories other than to shit on Akaash. That's it.
I was finishing up my last year in college, and Akaash he came to Philly for our first date because that's where I was studying, and he's like, oh yeah, I come to Philly all the time, like never used to come to Philly. Came down and he Ubered to come pick me up, and he drove past Fraternity Row. I feel like that's when it sunk in.
That's when it sunk in. Why is my wife, or girl at the time, why is this girl at Fraternity Row? Why would he need to drive past Fraternity Row? Were you popping your pussy with the frat boys, or what were you doing? Why would you need to drive past Fraternity Row?
Like our age difference, our 9-year age difference, and he was like, oh, okay. And then he took me to this restaurant, Sampan. My Philly girls know. He thought he killed it, which he did. It's a good restaurant, but I had been there on a date with the last guy I dated.
Dude, what? Listen to how she says this. He thought he killed it. So yeah, he thought he killed it. He thought he like ate that up. But I had already been there with like another guy before him. So, you know, joke's on him. Like, what? Dude, this is like what I mean. Like and the fact that this dumbass is just sitting there in the driver's seat, either like he's in the car right now and he's allowing, like, this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. I just want you to hear this again because I'll tell you what I want to say after this. Let's just hear this again.
And then he took me to this restaurant, Sampan. My Philly girls know. He thought he killed it, which he did. It's a good restaurant, but I had been there on a date with the last guy I dated. I told him that I went there before, and he was like, are you kidding me?
So he thought he killed it, but I had been there before with the last guy I dated. What? So, dude, it's not like when you're dating somebody, obviously you know that they have been with people in the past. I'm not going to date my boyfriend and expect him not to have any ex-girlfriends. And I wouldn't expect him to date me and think that I haven't had any ex-boyfriends, right? But there's a certain thing about men, and I don't like to buy into this whole like alpha stereotype, but this part is true, right? Men do not like to feel like, how should I say this? They don't like to have that kind of stuff rubbed in their face. You know what I mean? Like they understand that you've had exes, but they don't necessarily want to hear about it. That's not something they really want you to be talking about nonstop. And she always talks about this kind of stuff. She talked about how this guy was fingering her and she was on her period, really disgusting things. Guys understand that girls he believes that she was a virgin, which nobody in the freaking world believes that except for him. But regardless of that, why would he want to know that the place he took you on your guys' first date, you had already been there with another guy? She just like is so fucking retarded. She strikes me as somebody who just doesn't understand, and she tries to blame this. This is what's so pathetic about her. She thinks it's funny to blame this on autism. She tries to say like, oh, I'm a little bit autistic. Dude, no, you're not. You're not. You're just a dumb bitch.
If you don't know what the controversy was, a lot of red pill and misogynistic men tried to cancel me because I said I popped my pussy. Big fucking deal. Like, get the fuck over it. Like, I'm sorry I'm a little autistic with my words. What do you want from me?
And it's so like disrespectful and insulting to people who actually are autistic, because this is like a stereotype what like normal people envision people with autism to act like. Like, oh, they just don't know what to say. They're like so wacky and quirky. That's not the way it works. That's not autism at all. Coming from somebody who, you know, knows people with autism and knows people with certain disabilities, the fact that she's trying to like use this as like a cute, quirky personality trait now that she's being exposed for being a dumbass is so insulting. Don't blame it on that, okay? You're just a dumbass and you don't understand how men operate. And it's not because you haven't been with them. It's just because you're stupid and you don't know how to shut your fucking mouth. You don't know when to shut the fuck up. And so what I'm trying to say is that your boyfriend or husband, whatever, does not want to hear about how you have already been to all these places on dates with other men. Those are not things that you need to be sharing with him, and especially not sharing on the internet to embarrass him. Let men feel, you know, special and like they're the only person that you've ever had eyes for. Let them just think that. Let them just believe that. You can like feed into that. You don't need to rub it in their face that you've been on dates with like all these other men at the same place you went on your first date with your husband at. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like, you've already ruined his entire life and career. You don't need to take away his masculinity as well. You know, I mean, she already has, but like continue to do so.
I told him that I went there before and he was like, are you kidding me? Then he took me to Eastern State Penitentiary, which is like an old jail where I think what's his name? Al Pacino?
Al Capone.
Al Capone. Whatever. Al Capone stayed because it was like during Halloween, but he didn't tell me where we were going. So as soon as we came up, like one of the like actors or like the zombie people like came up and scared me, and I screamed so loud and hugged his arm, and he was like, that's right, Daddy's here. And we walked home all the way from Eastern State Penitentiary back to Drexel's campus because like we were just vibing like so much the whole night. That's what I knew. Like the conversation was flowing so easily. Even though he was like trying to roast me, he was like, what did you say? He said makeup artists are con artists. He said something like, I'm not one of those girls that's gonna offer to pay, right? It's like, I mean, I will, just to be polite. He's like, no, don't even pretend.
That was tough.
Yeah, that was. Oh, and the hostess like really did me a solid. Well, she's like, oh my god, your girlfriend is so pretty, like you're so lucky.
How does she even remember that? Like, how long ago was this? This was years ago, okay? How do you remember like when somebody calls you pretty? To her, like, I'm pretty vain, I'll admit, but to her, like, she's so insecure, and people calling her pretty is like everything to her. That's all she really wants. She wants to be like this pretty housewife, like wag, nothing to do, like has no job, no ambition, literally just sits on her ass and goes shopping all day, makes TikToks. And so her whole dream in life, the only thing she wants to be is pretty. And she says things like this all the time, like she just wants to be pretty and like hilarious.
I've been nothing but gorgeous and hilarious. Yeah, she's pretty, she's cool.
But she always talks about how all she wants to be is pretty and famous and all this stuff. Very vain, very materialistic, very like vapid, shallow. And so somebody calling her pretty years ago sticks with her till this day. Till this day, because that is the only thing she cares about. Such an odd thing to remember.
And he was like, I know, right? Which I thought was such a good response, because like if you shy away from it, it's kind of like ew, you know? But he was like, oh yeah, I know, right? And I thought that was like so sweet. Like it had been the first time that I was actually excited to go on a first date with someone. There was just like butterflies in the air.
Did you have a job interview with Deloitte or something that day?
Oh yeah, no, I think I think my job interview with Deloitte, the worst company in the world, was that day. Fuck Deloitte, by the way. You know what I like too about Akaash? Like as soon as I came in, he was like just so unfiltered, and obviously you guys know I'm fucking unfiltered. So he was like, oh, do you want a drink? And I was like, yeah. And then I'm like, oh, you're not gonna get anything? He's like, no, my dad was an alcoholic. And I was like, oh, okay.
Great date.
It's just like so weird that you choose to share all these private, intimate moments in this way that just like embarrasses your husband. Like the part where she says like, oh, he really thought he killed it, but I had already been there with somebody else. It's like, girl, why do you need to say that? Why do you need to say that? It's just so weird to me. But here she is talking about how she is so unbothered and so unaffected by all these think pieces about her. Girl, no, you're not. You're not at all. And your husband even admitted it. And if you were, then you wouldn't be making videos like this. Dude, she literally always has to respond to things. She always has to make TikToks and like try to defend herself. The real sign of strength and poise and not giving a fuck are people who don't have to respond to every little thing, every little critique about them, because they are confident within themselves and they know that what people are saying is so like crazy and not true that it would be a waste of time for them to respond. But she doesn't realize that. She doesn't realize that like it's a better look and it makes you look more unbothered if you don't respond. This is why like all these people who respond to things like videos about them, it's just so goofy when people have to make a response video to every little thing. Responding to things actually, it's like adding gasoline to a flame and it brings more attention to that thing rather than letting it, blow over and go away. But she's so thirsty for attention and fame and views, she does not have it in her to not respond. She has to respond to every little thing. So I just want, to preface that when you look at this, don't buy the bullshit she's selling that she's not bothered, because she is absolutely 100% bothered.
Like people always ask me like, how are you so unaffected by like all these think pieces about you? Because I don't believe that they truly believe that. I think a majority of them don't really believe how strongly they're saying something, but they want to appease their certain fan base, whether it's liberal or red pill or like moderate leftist, but still want to appeal to the bros.
No political affiliation whatsoever here. All are welcome. We're not trying to appease anybody. And actually, you're right. I don't actually believe the things I'm saying about you. In fact, I think much, much worse about you, but I just can't say those things. Otherwise, I would get demonetized or banned. I can't really say the things I want to say about you because I would get in trouble. I would get a pow pow on my booty if I said those things.
Yeah, you kind of just all sound so fucking dumb to me.
Well, you sound so fucking dumb to me. How about that? Right. You sound so fucking dumb to me. Well, bitch, you sound fucking retarded.
What my real issue is like, why do these people, when they talk about me, they get like 10x their normal views? But when I talk, and I'm talking, I don't. Like, what is that? How does that work, TikTok? Like,
well, Jesline, I can explain it to you since I'm so fucking dumb. It is because people don't actually give a shit what you have to say. You're not interesting. You're not funny. You're not talented. You're not charismatic. You're not even really that hot. Sorry to burst your bubble. She's pretty, don't get me wrong, but she thinks she is a lot hotter than she actually is. Like, she thinks she's the baddest bitch, and she's really quite like average. And I'm not trying to be a hater. I'm just trying to say she thinks she's so fine and she's so sexy and posts all these videos and talks about herself like she's the best thing since sliced bread. And so I have no problem humbling somebody like that. I'm not saying I'm the finest person on the planet, but I'm not walking around acting and talking to people like I'm so much better than them. She talks to people like shit. She's so mean. She's so condescending. She's so rude on TikTok. So she kind of deserves it in my opinion. But to answer your question, people don't give a shit what you have to say. People watch us because they can't stand to watch you. They don't want to go follow you. They don't want to go search you up. You're not interesting, okay? Do you understand that? So they watch us to hear our takes on it, to hear the way we present the information, because it's much more entertaining that way. It's much more palatable. It's easier to digest. It's easier to get through a video because it's not just your fucking yapping voice the entire time.
When all of a sudden I hear this agitated, grating voice.
Does that make sense to you? We get the views because people are watching for us, not for you. That's where people like you get it twisted. People like you like to say, oh, you're using my name for clout, you're using my name for views, blah, blah, blah. Then why aren't you getting the views? Huh?
I've literally checked. I've gone on like 5 different creators' page that have made hate videos about me. Average like what their average views were, and then a video about me 10x their normal views, like 10x. How do I copy and paste that like magic? You know what I mean? Should I do a think piece reaction to myself?
And him laughing in the background like she's so fucking funny.
And be like, yeah, you know what? That was disrespectful.
You ruined my career.
Yeah, should I do a think piece about ruining my husband's career after he sold out Radio City and like has never sold out more shows?
You you could definitely do that. But again, Jasleen, people aren't watching for you. People are watching videos and commentary videos, think pieces like mine, because you're like a car crash. You're an embarrassing ass, narcissistic, emotionally unstable, self-centered, bitchy, embarrassing wife that doesn't know how to shut the fuck up and put her phone down and respect her husband. So people are amazed. They are in shock. It, like I said, it is like a car crash that you can't look away from. But you're so unfunny, untalented, uncharismatic that people don't want to watch your videos or your channel. So they come to channels like mine to hear our breakdown on it and just get like the best bits and the latest updates. That's it. They don't care to watch the rest of your content. They don't care to watch your fucking get ready with me's, your shopping bag videos, your fucking walking through the mall, whatever goddamn bullshit you like to post. People don't care about that kind of stuff, especially nowadays in 2026. She posts the most tone deaf, and this is like another issue I have with her besides the fact that she's so fucking embarrassing, but she posts the most tone deaf videos, shopping, spending thousands of dollars, walking out of the store with like literally bags bigger than my body filled with designer bullshit that she spent like tens of thousands of dollars on, okay? And it's like people don't care. Okay, people don't want to see that kind of shit. People do not care. And if anything, people dislike that kind of content because it's just like so like elitist, so classist, you know, so tacky. It's not like feel good, funny type of content that people like to watch to escape. It's just like reminds people of all the yuckiest parts of the internet, this kind of content. It's not like feel good content. But anyways, you guys, that is all I have for you today. I just could not believe the fact that she was like rubbing in her husband's face on the internet filming this shit, that she had gone on a date prior to the exact same place that her husband took her for their first date. Like, dude, could you be any more of a bitch? Embarrassing and selfish. It's so crazy. This guy, he's gonna have to learn the hard way. I'm so shocked that he has not like woken up to this by now because it's so blatantly obvious. But again, he's not like a very experienced guy. I don't think he's been with a lot of women, so it's very hard for him to spot the bad apples and like gold diggers basically. So unfortunately, he's gonna have to learn the hard way, and absolutely nobody is gonna be shocked except for him. But at this point, dude, I don't even feel bad anymore. Like I do kind of feel bad, but at the same time, I have to like stop myself because he's so fucking stupid, dude. He's always online defending her, like literally allowing this woman to ruin his life, ruin his career, take everything from him. And by the time everything's said and done, she's gonna take everything from him every last time. I promise you that. And by the way, she is constantly bragging that she didn't sign a prenup. What kind of wife that is not with you just for the money is gonna brag about not signing a prenup? Are you kidding me? That is like the telltale sign of all signs. Red flag of all red flags. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Take care.